I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC light heavyweight contender Alex Pereira reveals plans to train and learn English from former opponent Sean Strickland, saying, this is what Pereira says about Sean Strickland. He's a nice guy. Wow. Everyone might not be a fan of Sean Strickland, but Alex Pereira is cool with him. You know what? I am too. I gotta be honest. Alex Pereira has been out of action since his rematch with Israel Adesanya in April of 2023. Just a few months prior to that, Pereira captured the UFC middleweight gold with a fifth round stoppage win over Israel, the last style bender Adesanya. However, the former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya got his revenge at UFC 288 in a pay-per-view main event. Pereira lost his title by second round KO. Right, it wasn't a TKO. He got KO'd. While there was brief talk of a potential trilogy fight between Pereira and Israel Adesanya, that hasn't come to fruition. Instead, Israel Adesanya is waiting for his next title challenger, which, okay, I guess I can say that. I'm going to have to come back to this point real quick later on, which will come from a UFC 290 clash between Robert Whittaker and Dracus du Plessis. I'm going to come back to that point later on. Meanwhile, Alex Pereira is slated to return before Israel Adesanya, even though he got knocked out, which I can't understand. At UFC 291, Pereira is moving up to the light heavyweight division where he will fight Jan Blachowicz, someone who actually defeated Israel Adesanya in the light heavyweight division. The bout will be the first time Alex Pereira fights in the light heavyweight division, and he's doing everything he can to be prepared. That seemingly include a future training session alongside Sean Strickland. Let me see. Tarzan was famously knocked out. I didn't know his nickname was Tarzan. Okay, Sean Strickland was famously knocked out by Alex Pereira. You can see the photo below at UFC 276 last year. However, Pereira seemingly respects Sean Strickland and wants to bring him in for his ahead of his next fight. Alex holds no grudges against, well, obviously knocked out Strickland. This is what the Brazilian translator said during a recent interview with Alex Pereira on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Sean Strickland is coming here for 1 week with him for his next fight. Yup, Sean Strickland is coming to Connecticut. Yup, next week he's going to learn English with Sean. What he says, Alex Pereira is going to learn English with Sean Strickland. He continued, he's a bit crazy. I guess they're talking about Sean Strickland's a bit crazy, but he's a nice guy. How about that? You know what I mean? Kayfabe is dead. He talked a lot about these guys, but he's always treated Alex very respectfully. So he's very welcome in our home. Yeah, kayfabe is dead. Yeah, I would say, whether I agree with Sean Strickland or disagree with Sean Strickland, I 1000% respect what Sean Strickland is doing, and I hope he continues to do what he's, doing. He's doing his thing. I remember there was a story between Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland. I don't know if the words was that Pereira was afraid to fight Sean Strickland, but he was basically saying that he recognized like he was a little bit scared. I think it was afraid. I don't know if he said, I don't think it was afraid. It could have been scared, or it could have been like he just realized the danger he was in before he fought Sean Strickland. I think the question was like, have you ever feared an opponent, or were you ever worried about any opponents to Alex Pereira? And I think the name that he did mention was Sean Strickland. I don't know if he said he was afraid. I don't know if he said he was scared, but he was basically like, who was the opponent you were, thinking about before you had to fight? And the answer was Sean Strickland. He was, Pereira was saying that he realized the danger, that he could be in a fight with Sean Strickland before he walked into the octagon. He was just like, this guy could, this guy is a problem. Sean Strickland could be a problem, and he could probably hurt me in that sense, you know. So it's cool to see that they're going to be training together. Sean Strickland, you know, obviously, you know, kind of like Bilal Muhammad, has a lot of people who love him and who hate him on Twitter. I'm one of those that I don't follow everything. I'm an MMA casual in this game, so I don't follow everything that Sean Strickland does. But he, you know, from what I've heard, he hasn't really said anything like offensive, right? Like he, you know, he does a good job of promoting, right? He's doing a great job at promoting himself and getting his name out there and is putting his opinion out there. His interviews do well. So like I said, whether I agree with what Sean Strickland says or whether I disagree, I think he should keep doing what he's doing. You know, Sean Strickland coming in to help Alex Pereira prepare for Jan Blachowicz at light heavyweight. I don't know, you know, how much that's going to help. Sean Strickland, you know, isn't like the biggest boy in the world. And, you know, his wrestling, you know, Alex Pereira is going to have to work on a lot of wrestling with someone like Jan Blachowicz, and also the legendary Polish power is what, you know, Pereira is going to have to be worried about. But also the idea that Pereira, who lost to Israel Adesanya, right, via second round KO, that he's coming back and fighting before Israel Adesanya. That's the problem I have with this story. I don't understand why Alex Pereira, you know, 3 months after being knocked out cold in the second round, is taking another fight. That doesn't make sense to me. He should be, you know, on, you know, medical leave for at least another month or two, and maybe come back in like October or like November. But, you know, Israel Adesanya is waiting for his opponent. I thought Israel Adesanya was going to fight in September, you know, with the fight with Robert Whittaker and Dracus du Plessis happening at UFC 290. That's next month. That's in July. Wow, it's really soon. I don't know if Israel Adesanya is going to fight the win. You know, if that's his next opponent. The UFC has been very, very quiet between Israel Adesanya next opponent, Jamal Hill's next opponent. I don't know, you know, because you see Alex Pereira is going up to light heavyweight division. We haven't heard much from Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill, light heavyweight champion, UFC light heavyweight champion. His last fight was in January. We haven't heard anything for Jamal Hill. I was thinking that Israel Adesanya was going to fight, you know, Hamza Chimaev in September, because UFC is going to have an event in September in Australia. So I don't know if the winner of Robert Whittaker and Dracus du Plessis will be ready to fight Israel Adesanya, you know, 2 months after their July fight. It's going to be a 3-round fight between Robert Whittaker and Dracus du Plessis. So I don't know if that's going to be Israel Adesanya next fight. We have no idea. But let me know your opinion of this story. Like I said, I'm not, you know, whether I agree with Sean Strickland or disagree with Sean Strickland, that has nothing to do with anything. I hope he keeps doing his thing. And, you know, when I say kayfabe is dead, when fighters come out and say, you know, people like Sean Strickland is a bit crazy, but truthfully, he's always treated Alex very respectfully. That's when I say kayfabe is dead, because a lot of people think Sean Strickland is like this villain. He's the bad guy, but he's really not. You know, he's probably really not a bad guy. He doesn't seem like he's a bad guy at all, right? You know, but I'm an MMA casual, so what the hell do I know? I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about Alex Pereira reveals plans to train and learn English from former opponent Sean Strickland, saying Sean Strickland is a nice guy. Wow. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.